back to the 99, where we are focused on brewing a better competitive commander. I'm your host, Patrick Marlette.
Justin Rodriguez.
And today we're talking about the state of MTG, all the madness that's happening with COVID-19 and card prices, the buyouts we're seeing, and just a kind of a safety measure for you guys. We've mentioned it in a lot of our Staples videos, but now's not a great time to buy.
No, this is totally a seller's market.
Yes, definitely 100%. A seller's market. Also, the craziness regarding sets that are coming out that aren't even nearing release.
Triple-digit masters.
Triple-digit masters. Guys, double masters. We're going to talk a little bit about that, as well as the companion rules that have been modified as of today, as of filming
Triple
this.
generic companions.
Yes. Do you want to start with that, actually?
Yeah, we can. So they just released a new errata for companions. And this is really sad. I mean, we already knew that companions were kind of busted.
Yeah, but they blew up. They blew up.
They blew up. I mean, this was incredible on Cube. This didn't see too much play in EDH. I mean, Zerda the Dawnwalker did. That was a really cool deck.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we also saw
Sisay Gigantha.
And
a couple
Gigantha was
lists.
very cool.
And then one of our players, Brendan, if you're watching this, he plays a list, and he's still committed to playing it, but I'll be damned if it's not more difficult now. But yes.
It's a lot more difficult because now it's once per game. Anytime you can cast a sorcery. This is the really damning part.
Yeah.
You can pay three generic mana to put your
companion from your sideboard into your hand. So it's a special action. It's like a morphing, right? So it doesn't have any. There's no interactions. So it's an activated ability, but it happens at sorcery speed. It's very weird. They're trying to clean up the mess they made with companions because they're very good. It turns out
they're
having
insanely good.
An 8th card, but essentially what they've made companions they're like wish cards. It's like a card that says wish on it, and you don't need a wish card in your deck to pull it from your sideboard. Now we're going to talk about how this impacts Commander more in depth in the meat of this video, but I do want to talk about our partner, TCG Player, before we jump into this one. Guys, I'm telling you not to buy any of these cards, but if you insist, if you really want to, please buy them through the link in the description. Guys, if you like this channel, you want to help support us indirectly, do so via the link in the description because TCG Player has the best prices year-round. Occasionally kickbacks that you should be looking out for. It's one of the best ways to just buy in bulk. So if you're trying to help yourself, help us out while you're at it. Also, guys, if you don't help support us directly, you can do so via Patreon and or Anchor, which is the site you're going to be listening to this to. But guys, Patreon members, you all know this already. I'm going to be thanking each one of you individually with Justin at the end of this video. Thank you so much for your patronage. You guys are the best, especially if you're in an industry affected by COVID-19 and you're still hooking us up. You're amazing. But guys, take care of yourselves first. Before ever worrying about us.
Please do.
But regarding Companion and Commander, so the ruling specifically states sideboard. Now, as we all know, Commander doesn't have sideboard. The Rules Committee sort of skirted past this by stating it's just its own zone. It's its own thing, essentially. They haven't placed a name on it because that would be a slippery slope. But there's no sideboard in Commander. You're still able to use companions in Commander. With this rule.
You can, and now they definitely dodge Drannith Magistrate, which is... I mean, that's the only pro I can see to this. You're not casting from another zone.
Because you're putting it into your hand. So you're fortunate that you can do that. I mean, with Drannith, we've played a lot of games since Drannith's release, and I have to say Drannith is as damning as we all imagined, especially when he was played on Curve.
Oh, most
trust
definitely.
me, like, not that many commanders can be cast before a Drannith Magistrate.
And not many commanders can operate without their commander.
Yeah.
In a game-winning state.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, for all cases I can think of, like, the commander is a huge part of the win.
A lot of the off-meta commanders can. Yeah. But your Demonic Consultation, Thassa's Oracle, you don't need your commander for that.
No. But just having your commander there is always going to obviously help you, whatever your game package is. But again, like the AB combo like that, where it's in the 99, it's not a huge issue. So, yes, this does skirt past Drannith Magistrates of the world, but by and large...
That's such a low pro.
Exactly. It's essentially a 3 CMC, or 3 generic tax on your companion. And does that mean decks like Zerda Will of the Wild that I illustrated here, are they still viable? It's going to play a lot slower. And I have to say that part of the dynamic of that list is how fast it could go.
Mm-hmm.
It's slowed down dramatically now because we're not able to play Zerta on curve. Because Zerta now, unless we put Zerta in the 99,
Yes.
which changes the dynamic completely. Because then you don't have to worry about companionship costs. You can just do whatever the hell you want with your deck.
But then you have to tutor for it, which is
it's a different
whole
deck.
other step.
And
So
it's just a different deck.
Yeah.
Because essentially, companions up to this point were being treated as if they were like partners. They're like another thing you could cast at any given turn for value. And I think, I'm going to loosely say it, I think Companion is probably going to be dead for the most part. Again, Gigantha and Zerta were maybe the big ones, and some people were exploring Luris as a potential companion and commander. I think those decks are going to be, they were already just fair, and now they're a lot weaker. So
I think the biggest hit to this is the sorcery speed needing to bring this to your hand. I mean, if this was instant speed, I feel like it wouldn't be that bad. You know, I can play this on an off turn. I can use the 3 generic when I know everybody's tapped out or it's going to be my turn now and I'm not worried about it. But if I'm having to commit 3 mana on my turn and literally just say, like, I don't really have much mana more to interact, that's rough. That's really rough. I mean, you're spending, like, a good portion of your turn just bringing this to your hand and not doing anything with it, unless you cheat it out. So Brendan was also talking about doing
Goyo's
like
Vengeance.
there's
ways
sneak
to bring
attack through the breach. There's things to do with it, but
they're not great.
They're not great.
But see, the issue there is that you're dependent again on another card being in the 99 that's going to help you situationally. Whereas before, it was just a cast from this magical zone that existed outside of the sideboard or your command zone. It's insane how the effect it had on the game, especially in other formats. That's why this happened. It wasn't a relevant concern in Commander.
It was never a relevant thing in CDH, but I really enjoyed seeing companions in CDH. I mean, this was more deck diversity. This was a lot of fringe lists that were actually very competitive, and I had a great time seeing these decks operated and played.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, you can win like that? That is so cool. And now I can't see that.
Yeah.
Well, I can, but to less effective.
I honestly think, and just on a side note, like Marath, like Sisay, and those are the main decks that we mostly played in our circle. I'll state with this new ruling, and the rules committee has already stated that they're going to be following this guideline. I mean,
and they should.
They should. They shouldn't. They should not. I mean, it's weird enough that we've added companion. I mean, my feelings from the very beginning were that companion shouldn't be allowed at all. It's going to be allowed still with this tax, and it's not very good. If you guys were looking to build Marath, Will the Wild, with the Zerta component as companion, it's not as potent. And I might advise just going a different route with Marath. And I might just, if you guys are still curious, I'll make a separate list for Marath, Will of the Wild. I've had a lot of ideas for a non-Zerta list that would be just as effective, but a little bit slower. In all honesty, I think the list is probably stronger now without Zerta as a companion, sadly. I can't say the same goes for Sisay. I think Sisay still has legs to stand on. It's not going to be as explosive, but the deck is going to be fun.
Definitely. I mean, Sisay definitely lost things by including Giganta as a companion. You couldn't play... your mana drain, your force of will, things like that. So does Sisay go back to having no Giganta? Or does it play it in the 99? Or do you just play it with the tax? We're going to have to find out.
Yeah, so guys, if you built a companion deck, let us know how much this is going to be affecting your game. Do you imagine altering your list to being non-companion again? Or are you still going to be committed to this as a game plan? It's still 101 cards, so you are getting that additional card to work with. I think in most of these cases, though, they might just be better in the 99.
I mean, overall, I'm disappointed with the new ruling because it really didn't affect our format that much, and it gave us, more diversity in decks that I enjoyed seeing.
Yeah.
But I can understand it from a standard and a legacy and so many different decks that this broke.
Yeah.
This was crazy.
Every time I got like a email from one of the bigger channels, like one of the bigger names, like Channel Fireball or TCG, it was always about how some deck was being broken because of companionship.
Yeah.
And like the blue-white...
Vintage. Oh, it broke Vintage too? I mean, it broke everything.
Yeah.
Luris was crazy.
So that's really all we have to say on this. The ruling was very brief. We read it verbatim for you, but I guess I'll go ahead and leave a link in the June announcement for you guys so you can just read it down below.
Yeah, I mean, going forward, do you think that they're going to continue printing companions?
Is a companion like an evergreen thing? If we want to speculate, I'm going to say yes. I don't know how many more sets they're going to persist with this, but I don't think it's a very viable ability.
I feel like I read somewhere that they're going to keep producing companions.
I guess I'm still excited for it, but the fact that it's at sorcery, you're so right. It ruins it, because even if it was at instance, at least you'd have the ability to interact with your opponent on a given turn on their turn, and then should push come to shove and nothing happens, you're able to at least get your companion into your hand at the start of your turn, and you just have it and you can top deck or whatever. I don't know if I don't see very many silver linings to this.
I don't either. And I think that even though this is the current errata, it's not 100% set in stone. I think that they can go back and revisit this if it's just...
Do you think 2 generic would have been better at sorcery? Because at least you'd have a little bit of mana. If you're trying to get this in your hand on curve.
Yeah. I feel like they felt like 2 was still a little too good. I mean, obviously. Yeah. It's just...
3 is high.
3 is high, but there's a fine line between broken and just not very playable. So
yeah, and it's usually that 1 mana difference.
It really could be.
It's like Grim Tutor and Demonic Tutor. 1 is very broken.
One is
makes
just okay. All the difference. Yes,
it's so true though. It's so true. I think 2 at sorcery would have been better. Or 3 at instant.
3 at instant would have been nice.
I would still use it.
I would have played it.
So Double Masters, guys, if you didn't know, it's a set that's releasing, I believe, August 7th, later this year.
Yes.
And the world is exploding with pre-orders on Double Master boxes, some without the box toppers. The box toppers removed, some with box toppers.
I've seen anywhere between 260 to 400.
Low end. So I see those, and then they're gone like this. And then on average, there's scalpers and people reselling pre-order packages for 350 plus average, right? If you're looking on eBay, that's what you're generally going to find. You're going to have to probably rely on a trustworthy LGS to maybe nab a few. I know a few people on Reddit have been posting, this is my local game store. This is where I'm buying it. You can purchase them online. Do we think, from what has been released or at least announced thus far, there's 10 cards, is it going to be worth your money? So we've missed out on a lot of boxes before.
Let's talk about Ultimate Masters. When that first dropped and we saw the price tag, what was the price tag when we saw it? Was maybe 200, 250?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, this is back when boxes were $80 to $100. I mean, this is just insane. Why would we pay this much? And then it boosted up to 400.
Right after the release.
It's crazy. And then we were kicking ourselves and we were saying, you know what, we didn't want these cards anyway. And then 2 months later, I wanted all those cards.
Yeah, I wound up getting a Liliana. I wound up getting
I wanted the card. I wanted everything. I wanted all those reprints. $400.
I've never felt FOMO, fear of missing out, so much since
from
after
Ultimate
that
Masters?
event. Exactly, yeah.
I felt that too.
It felt that. And I think I was bitter because of that, and I never wound up buying a box of Mystery Booster, which I also really wanted. And a lot of our fans of the channel here, a lot of guys reach out to us on Discord telling us how they pulled 3 mana crypts, and they've pulled all these amazing staples, like their Carpet of Flowers, all the stuff they needed that we've talked about on the channel as being essentials from this set. And that was so good to hear. And Lord knows I need copies. I really feel bad I missed out, right? So what were the odds of another Mana Crypt being printed this year?
Pretty high. I mean, if you really look at the price of cards right now, even before the COVID spikes, they were ridiculous. Mana Crypt was $100. It was 150 plus. And then they reprinted it in Mystery Boosters, and we saw it drop right below 100, and now we're back up again.
Some instances.
So, if anything, I'm very happy that it's seen another reprint.
I agree. So, Double Masters thus far, I'll put the cards on the screen for you guys, but what's been announced are Mana Crypt, Kalia of the Vast, Atraxa, Praetor's Voice, Blightsteel Colossus in doubling season. So, technically only 5 cards, but you'll notice there are actually alternative arts being announced for these. I'm assuming these are maybe within the box toppers, or they might be within the sets, but there's alternative arts, some you may like, some you may not like. Regardless, we're getting multiple copies of these cards, and that's a great thing because it's fueling the market with valuable reprints that have needed to come for a while. And Mana Crypt getting hit on the head twice this year is insane for collectors looking to get into CDH in particular, because it is what we believe the number 1 card you should buy if you're trying to get into competitive scene or just play a more efficient list.
Yes.
So the fact that we're seeing it twice is amazing. It's interesting that this is the year Commander. Double Masters hasn't stated that it's a Commander set, but Atraxa and Kalia are kind of like popular commanders. Atraxa was a commander from a commander set. So
Doubling Season too. Doubling Season is very good in Commander.
It's interesting because I feel like
EDH, but Commander in general loves Doubling Season. This is an awesome card.
It. Yeah. I don't think there's many competitive lists because 5 CMC is a lot, but the effect it has is insane. It's undeniably a good card, and it's an expensive card like Blightsteel. All these prints, these cards we're talking about here, except for maybe Kalia, are at least $30 and up.
Plus, I mean, Doubling Season was like 50. Blightsteel was like 80. Yeah. Mana Crypt, we just spoke about that. Crazy. Like,
mind you, these are a couple of the mythics and rares from the set, so you're not gonna pull one in every pack. But on the whole, do you think the $360 price tag on pre-orders we're seeing now is a wise buy?
No. I mean, personally, I've seen pre-orders sub $300, and I'm gonna wait for that. I really do. I mean, I'm currently seeing them at 300 plus, 400. That's crazy. Please hold out. Don't let FOMO get to you. There are going to be cheaper pre-orders.
Yeah.
They are also going to fluctuate a lot because once they start doing spoilers for this new set, of course that's going to affect the hype and it's going to affect the price of the box. If you can find a pre-order $280, $275, I would say that is a safe pre-order. I would 100% purchase that if I was interested in owning these cards.
Link in the description.
Yeah.
No, but again, August 7th. I had to double check. It is August 7th, so we're a way. Mind you, M21 is happening before this.
So this is crazy because Double Masters has stolen the spotlight from Ikoria, M21, and who even cares about Commander Legends right now? Like, it's Double Masters. Double Masters is everything right now.
Is the guaranteed set to have value.
Yes.
Right? And they started off very strong with the spoilers because these are all value. And a lot of these art reprints, some people love them, some people hate them. I think it's subjective. And maybe we can toss our sense in the ring here if you just want to briefly talk about some of the reprint art.
Sure.
They're awesome. They're really awesome in my book. So I totally agree with Justin. I definitely think you should hold off. You know, the magic number for me, and I was telling Justin earlier, is like I kind of want one for like $250. That's reasonable to me because like shipping, handling, tax, like it's going to get up there anyways. And I own copies of everything I would like, but you know, multiple copies would be good. I don't know. It's just going to be a fun draft experience, and I think there's a different way to draft it too because of the number of cards.
Oh, this would be a great draft experience
in the packs. Yeah. But let's start with Doubling Season, and you guys can do some card analysis with us too. Do you like the new art for Doubling Season?
I personally really like the vividness of the colors. I like the saturation of the colors. I don't necessarily like the art. It's not for me. But if we look back and we look at all the Doubling Season arts, I can't really say that I love any of them.
Yeah, I was over the moon about the previous art. I think this one has a lot of character, and I think it makes more sense than the chart Doubling Season. It's getting a reprint in the set. The original art. It makes more sense. I like it thematically. I think it's really goofy.
So you like the scroll one to the right?
I like the new one a lot.
You like the new one?
I think it's cheesy as heck.
I like the colors a lot.
I agree with you there. And why I want to talk about art, because things like Mana Crypt, the value of the original Mana Crypt, or at least the promo one, like the vaginal walls, what do they call that one? That one's still...
I own that one. Yeah. I love that one.
It's still expensive. It's gone up.
Yeah.
Despite like the announcement of...
Something crazy.
So art buying is a thing for a lot of collectors.
It's very much a thing. When you can afford a game, especially CEDH, we're talking, this is a very expensive format. I love that as a cube owner and a 2-deck CEDH owner, that I can go ahead and pick the art that I really want to play with. I love diversity in art.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, whatever resonates with you. And especially if you're going to spend like $100 on a Mana Crypt, I mean, you might as well dish out and get the one you really like. The next one on the list is Blightsteel. Wayne Reynolds, by the way. It's pretty dope. It's like, it doesn't read Infect to me.
You know what? But the original didn't really either. And if you watched the latest video, I have a Pop-Tart altar of the Blightsteel Colossus. I love this new one too, though. I love the flow. I love that it's more animated. It's less stoic.
It doesn't replace it,
it's though. Not... I mean, I like the original because it's very menacing, but I really, really like this new style. And it's Wayne Reynolds. This is fantastic art.
Yeah, no, the art's insane. I like that he maintained the look of the Blightsteel. A lot of times there's going to be alterations to what that creature or character looks like. This looks exactly like the original.
It does.
but just more animated. I really like it too. I'm total agreement. I think that's gonna be like the must-own copy after this set releases. With Atraxa, no offense, Kev Walker, I love his work. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah. It's not a huge upgrade. If you're a fan of the extended border art that MTG is releasing, this is probably the one you're going to want to play with anyways. I mean, the Atraxa Praetor's Voice that came out, I forget what Commander said. They're very expensive. So to see a reprint with any art is amazing.
And then they were bought out too.
Yeah.
A while ago they were bought out. So
the reprint I do really like of a legendary creature. Yes, Kalia the Vast, Scott Fisher. Thumbs up.
That's the best new art I've seen so far.
Yes.
That is fantastic.
From like any set this year.
If I was playing Kalia, that would be the one I'd go for.
It's so insane. Lighting, everything about this card is just immensely beautiful. I love it. And the leg tattoo, I'm just realizing now it's the same.
Yeah.
It's essentially like the mirror of the previous art, but her hair
different
is
leg,
like,
but hey,
different leg, but I like it. I like it all the same. And Monocrypt is the most subjective. And
I don't like it.
The thing that really bothered me most, I like that it has flavor text now, but they mention
this kills me because the flavor text says vault, and how many times have you been trying to tell someone how good Monocrypt was, but mistook it for a vault? You're like, oh yeah, Monovault's amazing. It is, but I mess up Crypt and Vault all the time, and I'm going to even more now.
They intentionally did this then.
They intentionally did this.
At first they thought the vault was empty. Then the walls began to glow.
Because there's really a crypt.
They couldn't just say crypt. I don't know why. I actually really like the new art. I think it's super cheesy and fun.
Yeah.
I would love to play with this. I know it's going to be hopefully not too expensive. It's going to be one of those situations where, like the masterpiece Mana Crypt, you should have bought it right after Kaladesh Inventions. Like those masterpieces just dried up. You should have bought it when it was like that 200 plus range, because now they're much more expensive. I feel like this, if it's not likely to get another printing, this is an art that will go up in value.
Well, you got to think what happened when Mystery Booster came out. Mana Crypt dropped in price. You were able to pick that up maybe on the low end of like $85.
Mana Crypt?
Yeah. That was
through like private sale. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you were seeing 90, 100, now we're up to like 115, 120, 130 plus, which is crazy. So I'm hoping to pick these up sub $100. That is a steal.
This new art? Or just
any
print in general?
I don't even care about the new art. I just want Mana Crypt to go down in price so more people can get into our format.
Totally agree.
And really feel the power of how good this is.
I totally agree. No, it's amazing. I'm really glad that it happened in Mystery Boosters. I'm really glad there's another printing here.
Mm-hmm.
And briefly, I guess we can touch on Core Set 2021. Now, I remember going out to the pre-release for 2020.
What'd you think of that? I didn't go.
It was fun. I think that it was really well balanced. I didn't get the mistake print of the rider. What is it? The Orzhov rider?
The Corpse Knight?
That was supposed to be a
he was a
2-3 misprint.
He was a 2-3,
so essentially, Core Set 2021, spoilers start June 4th. So if you guys don't know,
3 days from now.
We're recording June 1st.
That's crazy because like this is completely went under the radar. And like I said before, Double Masters is just double deucing on everything right now.
Double dropping that teabag and everyone.
I was like, wait, Core 21's coming up? What?
Yeah.
How many days away is this? 3 days? Are you kidding me?
The important things to note, if you don't know yet...
I'm fatigued. Are you fatigued?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about that real quick. There's been so many sets that have come out, so many spoilers, so many like, hey, look, what we're going to do. Do you want to throw money at us? Of course we do. The market is oversaturated. But Magic players, I mean, I'm personally fatigued, but a lot of people, they can keep going.
Do you not even want to talk about Secret Lair?
Yeah, I'm tapping out right here.
The Secret Lair Summer Drop just started too, and we're not even going to discuss that in this video. But essentially, just a bunch of reprints with new art.
Yeah, I mean, they're really hitting the market hard in a time where a lot of people don't have excess money, which is crazy to me. So, and this is a really bad time for FOMO because, I mean,
if we're going to talk about that issue, a lot of people are indoors. A lot of people aren't going out as often as they could be. And I think that it's just extremely tempting to spend your time doing something. Yeah. If that means online shopping, it's sort of feeding off the market. Now, this was probably their marketing strategy for the Secret Lairs and all these sets this year. Regardless, anyways. Yeah. I think it's just bad timing with COVID.
Just don't spend beyond your means.
Yes, be wary. And we're not going to talk about secret layers here. You already know what that's all about. I mean, they're very smart. They're making money hand over fist for these cards.
And I don't know if you know this, but if you buy the entire summer bundle, meaning all 5 secret layers, you get a alternative art fetch land that just comes with it. So that's also how they're saying, please buy all of our products. We'll throw a fetch land at you. Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, but keep in mind, fetch land prices are pretty crazy right now. They have gone up too. Everything's going up. But they are also, this year, they said this year, they're going to reprint fetch lands in another set.
Oh.
So,
okay, well, screw it.
We're going to get reprints.
I'm going to wait.
You should wait.
I'm going to wait. I don't need to buy I'm probably going to use like 3 of those secret layer cards. But M21, it's going to be the set of Teferi. So if you remember, Chandra was the previous Planeswalker. They themed some of the cards after. There's a lot of cool cards in there. I actually use Chandra, Acolyte of Flame, if you guys don't know this, in my Wart the Raid Mother deck. So if you guys haven't watched that deck tech, check it out. Wart was just reprinted, and now Chandra has a home. The Chandras that released from that set were really decent.
They were. And I like the art, too.
Yeah, the Teferis that are releasing from the set...
So Teferi, in general, is a busted Planeswalker. Think of all the Teferis that have plagued Standard. We have 3 Fairy... We have 5 Fairy. Mm-hmm. Those 2 cards have been so good that they've made it into the Power Cube, which has a restricted Azoria slot. Insane. Will they do it again?
They're really good. There's been rumors of one of the Teferis that's about to leak. I don't know if we want to talk about that or elaborate on that, because it's not guaranteed to be released.
There's been leaks. Pretty much the biggest leak overall is people are saying Grim Tutor is getting the reprint. This is the set for it.
Yes.
Don't mark my words by it, but multiple sources have said that this is most likely going to be the set.
So if you've been hearing that too, and you've been holding onto your Grim Tutor, like Justin said earlier, seller's market.
I would personally sell Grim Tutor.
I mean, if you're not using it, probably shouldn't be using it anyways. And most competitive lists, unless you're mono black, you probably don't need Grim Tutor. But if that does get a reprint in this set, that's going to be crazy. It's going to drop the price of the $19.99 starter. I mean, I would hope. Collectors are going to still want it, but the value just isn't there anymore. Yeah. It's not a reserve list card. So if it does get a reprint, it's going to be insane.
Keep in mind, also, Imperial Seal is not a reserve list card. They're not going to put Grim Tutor and Imperial Seal in 21. They can't do that.
No one would care. Grim Tutor would have to be an uncommon.
But anytime
with that effect. Seriously.
Anytime, though, that we're talking about cards and the crazy spikes that we're seeing, ask yourself, is this a reserve list card? Does this deserve the price that it's currently at?
If it's not, hold off.
Yeah.
Hold off. Be smart. Again, don't spend beyond your means, is just what I'm saying. But M21 is going to be releasing later this month. Get excited for that.
I'm excited for spoiler season. I love spoiler season.
Likewise. It's the best part.
Fun.
So hang tight. We're going to be talking about this set on the show, obviously. Whether it's going to be like a weekly update with the spoilers we've seen thus far, potential deck options for them. Just hang tight for that. I do love to analyze and discuss cards as they come out. So if you want a fresh take, stay tuned to the channel for that. Other than that, guys, the last thing we really wanted to touch on were some of the price hikes we're seeing. It's crazy. Again, I think COVID-19 is affecting a lot of the market right now, and we're seeing insane buyouts of staple cards.
Yes.
And I'd hate to think we contributed to any of this. I know some people jokingly said it. I doubt. Our following's not that big. But as it so happens, things that are staples in Commander happen to be very, very, very valuable. And we've seen spikes in a lot of cards, but the ones we're going to mention today are things like Wheel of Fortune. This card's $170 on average, apparently. I don't know who's buying it at that rate, but the card itself, maybe what? A year back, I bought one copy for $45.50.
Yeah, and that was extremely cheap because you got it at a deal. I got it for maybe like $60, $70.
Sub 100.
This is more than doubled in price.
Yes. So it was hovering around the $100 mark in March. And
this is revised.
This is the revised version, mind you. There's a couple of copies of Wheel of Fortune. Whenever you hear us talk about Wheel of Fortune, it's going to be the revised version.
The coolest looking one.
The coolest looking one.
The non-judge promo, actually obtainable, non-beta alpha, unlimited.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So, don't buy it. Don't buy it from TCG Player, link down below. Just don't buy it. It's not a good time.
You know what? I really don't think it's a great time to buy many things. And, I mean, we joked about it last time. We saw everything increasing, and we said, well, why aren't the duels increasing? Well, those are increasing now. And if you look at any finance forum, any type of advice when it comes to duels, the best time to buy duels is when?
Yesterday.
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah.
Not right now. I still advise you to not buy duels right now. This is crazy what we're seeing.
Do you see a potential downtrend at all?
So I'd like to think that because of stimulus checks, because of the loss of TCG Player Direct, because of Star City Games, because of all these major sellers have not listed stock, that buyouts are easily more possible, right? So things will go back to normal. I don't know when that'll happen. It could be a couple months. It could be a year from now. Will they ever drop below the COVID spike? You know, will they ever drop to the prices that they were previously before these spikes happened? Probably not. Not necessarily, especially not these reserve list cards. But they will 100% be cheaper than they are right now. This is more than organic demand.
Yes, there have been spikes across the board. It's definitely not a time to buy. I mean, cards we were just recently talking about, Gilded Drake has shot up to something like $140 on average from the $80. I think we might have mentioned it in our staples video. It's still a staple. At this price, I have to say refrain. Same thing with Gaia's Cradle.
500 plus. 500 plus.
That happened maybe over the last 48 hours, like these spikes, these particular spikes. Yeah, it's absurd right now. It's not a great market to be in if you're looking or interested into getting into CDH. So again, refrain, abstain, don't buy through the link in the description.
You know, but, even the gold borders have increased.
Which is, it's like, you can't do the, I get it though, you know, you can't do the one thing, so you're going to do the other. That's more affordable. But again, gold border, not the same thing. It's not a legal card technically. So yes, it is printed by WotC. So if that matters to you, then you get that. But otherwise, guys, if you are so insistent on picking up the cards, I will encourage you to do so through the link in the description at TCG Player. Your fetch lands, your duels, some of the best high prices everywhere. But honestly, the best prices. So if you're going to do it anyways, guys, buy through the link in the description. You'll be hooking up the channel. You'll be hooking up yourself. Everyone's happy. Or, if this is more your speed, you can use Anchor, support button, and or Patreon to help out the channel. Guys, we really appreciate you. Everyone's support up till now. Thank you so much. It really makes a world of difference here. And I want to thank y'all personally.
Yeah, go for it. We got
in a little song. No.
Oh, really?
You want to sing it?
Nah.
No? Carolyn Tuesday style?
I actually would want to practice a song because I feel like we're decent singers. No, seriously.
Hold tight for that.
Seriously, we're not that bad.
Thank you.
No, I mean, I've seen you karaoke.
I've seen you karaoke.
Well, can we actually practice this for next time?
For next time.
But if they know we're serious, then we might get more critical.
They're going to shit comment. They're like, go back to karaoke. But Adam, Ali, Jarn, y'all would never say that. Brendo, Bruno, Burden, you know we're the best singers. We don't need to prove anything.
I've seen Carl karaoke with us once or twice.
Christopher and Clyde, too. Some of the best singers I've ever seen. Sunday Morning, Maroon 5, Clyde nails it every time. Craig, Dante, Dave, they're more Whitney Houston fans, but their karaoke styling's my favorite. Yeah. Wouldn't it be fun to have a MTG karaoke for the Patreon members?
Didn't we want to make MTG-related songs one time?
I still do. Like parodies.
I know you do.
I would love to.
It'd be really funny.
Frankly, Gregory, Goulius, Harry, thank you so much for your patronage. Jacoby, Jake,
Jared, Jason, Javier, John,
Mace,
Jordan,
Josh, thank you so much.
That's not the highest I can go.
What's the highest you can go?
Oh, it wasn't even high.
do it here. Josh, go up.
Who we got, Joshua?
Joshua! Kevin, Leon, you can already tell he's going to be an amazing singer. Leonardo, Luke, Mason, Mahoy Manoy, Nathan, Nick, I'm really trying to shoot through here. Olive, Paul, Renell, Running Red, Sam, Shade, ooh, the barrel's getting hot. Shord, Submox, The Holy Knight, Trent, and Xiao Fan, thank you guys so much for your patronage. You all are the best, the super fans. We owe you everything, and yet nothing. We do owe you everything. I appreciate you.
You owe them so good content, fool.
Yeah, I do. So I'm going to make sure I edit this out in good time for you all so the word is out there. Stop buying those pre-order double masters. Stop buying those singles. Unless it's your TCG player, link in the description.
$280 for that booster box.
Wait.
If you can find that.
Then. Not at 350 plus.
No.
Don't be crazy.
No. Don't
It releases in August. There's going to be more boxes by August. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. My name is Patrick Marlett.
Justin Rodriguez, and
happy brewing, babies.
I can't wait to sing.